I wanted to take a step back and think of the more puristic form of coaching is to work with a client in a coaching capacity, meaning being present with them and asking them insightful questions so that they can figure out their own solutions. So that's what typically a coach does. If I wanted to compare that with mentorship, mentorship is much more directing, much more concrete, and much more tied to the experience of the mentor. Meaning, if you and I are peers and we have about the same level of professional work experience and life experience at the same time, we are unlikely to be great mentors to one another unless my upbringing and my way of making my career has been fundamentally different to you. And so, as you just said, someone, more experienced being paired up with someone who is more early in their career maturity. And so that's how it typically works. So the older mentor who has been there and done that shares concrete ideas around how the kind of less experienced younger individual can stretch up to have an established career. Now, the opposite is also true. I mean, I've worked in organizations where we have done what we called reverse mentorship. This was for BAT at the time in the year 2008 when I came to London for the first time. We set this program up and we had very young individuals paired up with our board members and exco members to teach them all about social media and how it actually works and what's the value of being present on social media and how that is different from traditional ways of marketing and all that. So it can actually also work the other way. But again, it all comes down to the experience of the individual that is transferable to someone else who would benefit from it. And then advisory is the most concrete of the three, I guess. Advisory is, if you think of McKinsey or Boston Consulting and all these other names that are floating out there, that is something very concrete. So let's say if you and your organization wanted to establish an internal coach faculty, right? And if you were to hire someone like myself, I would come in and advise you on what are the do's and don'ts of setting up a successful internal coaching faculty in an organization. How have I supported other companies to do the same? I would ask you a number of questions around your organization culture, its leadership, its beliefs and guiding principles. And then based on that, I would advise you as to, okay, based on what I've heard, I feel you are better off by going down this path, which means having full-time coaches dedicated to coaching, or no, actually, having part-time coaches that are having the day job, but on the side, they have some capacity to coach. And so that is the advisory, and that's how I would distinguish the three.